Hi, y'all. I believe that data is the single most important commodity of your company. So choosing the right way to store it is extremely important. So where are companies choosing to store their data? According to DB Engine's ranking, 10 of the top 15 popular databases are open source. Today, I explain why that might be the case. Okay, before we get into why open source databases are popular, let's define open source. There are many different definitions, opinions, and even legalese of what truly defines open source. But for our purposes, open source is software in which the code is available to read, to use, and even to modify and distribute as we like. One very important component of open source is the community that's built up around it. This community makes contributions to improve the software. So with that out of the way, let's talk about why open source databases are popular. One of the main reasons that open source databases make up the majority of the top 15 databases on DB Engines is simply because there are just so many of them. And this is because the open source model allows you to improve upon technologies to solve very niche needs. And when those niche needs demand a new product, you build up your community around improving that product. So you have relational databases, document stores, key value stores, graphing, and many other type of databases that solve different needs. And this is a great use of the open source model. Open source databases also increases the velocity of your company. If you're at the stage of developing a new product, you probably don't want to fight with the budget and license requirements of enterprise databases. Open source allows your engineers to build. And with a variety of products out there, it allows them to choose the right tool for the job. Last but not least, the products themselves are being trusted more. This is the result of an active community using and contributing to improve the product, which increases adoption. It might also be because the code can be reviewed against open security vulnerabilities and improved. Also, trust in the open source model itself is increasing. The grandfather open source databases of MySQL and Postgres have proven to be viable in the enterprise setting. This helps feed the cycle of adoption. The more people that use the product, the better the product becomes, the more mature the product becomes. This encourages, in turn, more people to use the product. It's a great cycle. DB Engine's ranking is only one source indicating the rising popularity of open source databases. While enterprise databases are still relatively popular, increasingly open source database options are encroaching on their turf. Three big reasons for this are the ability to solve niche problems, increasing the velocity of your engineering team, and generally increasing trust in the open source model. If you haven't considered open source databases to store your precious data, what's stopping you?